Come and sit. Simple cross legs. Choose the cross of your legs. Pull the belly bones back. Open the back groins. The length of the back of your thighs. Release your legs so that your knees are resting into your feet. So make sure your feet are underneath your knees, otherwise it's not possible. Sometimes these things that are obvious aren't obvious, if you know what I mean. It's like obvious that your feet aren't in position. How can you rest your knees there? But then we don't actually position ourselves optimally. Okay. Roll your shoulders back and down. Lift the trunk. That you want to separate the trunk from the legs without letting the lumbar hang forward. Keep that front waist to back waist. Widen the collarbones. And then take your hands into Namaskarasana. You close the top lids deeply over the lower lids. Let your eyes draw towards the back of your head. Connecting with your breath. Through your breath, anchoring yourself into your body in the present moment. Relax your shoulders, keeping the length of the lumbar as we lift the armpit chest. Lift and spread the sternum from inside. Be aware of the center line. Hands joining exactly on that center line. And take a deep inhalation. Exhale, bow your head. And salute the divine light within. Release the back of your hands to your thighs. Now slowly lift your head. Quietly let your eyes open towards the floor in front of you. Yoga Mudrasana is Virasana. Big toes together, knees apart. Keep moving the buttocks backwards as you extend and really from the lower part. Don't have your knees too wide. Get that almost concave. Yes, Jimmy, I can see. I saw earlier when you were doing it. It's improved. Can you feel the difference in how you're moving better from yourself? I'm glad to see that your holiday didn't push you backwards. Looking on the other side of the room to see if anybody else is. You got a lot of vitamin D, I can see, so that's a positive. Rotation of your upper arms. Sorry, also watch that those knees aren't too wide. Eventually hands flat, whether flat onto the floor or flat onto your blocks. Come on, stretch your arms, Catherine. Pull the buttocks back and down. So when you stretch your arm, you can take a brick for underneath your head or a phone, Catherine, so the buttocks stay down, and you can still stretch the arms forward. Stretch into your fingers, and now, earlier on when you were sitting, I was saying separate the trunk and the pelvis. Now separate the shoulder blades and the arms. Pull the arms towards the fingers. Pull the shoulder blades down the back waist. That's it. Now this backward movement of the shoulder blades should create a deeper forward movement of the front of the body. How much are you extending pubic bone to navel? So are you extending pubic bone to navel? Then navel to diaphragm. Come on, Jeanette, the first band, even more. Pubic bone to navel, longer. You should have something under your head, Jeanette. Then, where was I? Navel to diaphragm. Diaphragm to the base of the sternum, sternum to the collarbones. Each band, each section of your body, yes, your knee, has become longer and longer. You see your knees are too wide apart. And then come into Ardha Mukha Svanasana, dog pose, head down. And you're going to keep this in your arms that you pull, like there's a cuff around the bicep, and pull that down. And watch that the inner arm stays long. Make your inner arm longer and longer. You see how the outer arm normally becomes long, those of you that tend to bend the arms? Keep the inner arm long, down towards the floor, and pull the shoulder blades along the back. Come on, Debbie. That's it. Keep the rotation of your upper arms. Turn your hands out. Catherine, hands out. Out. That way. Now, turn the arms from inside. Yes. Now, when you go back, don't let the arms close. And look forward. Push away from your hands. Strongly, without losing the connection with the finger side of the hand, Debbie. So you're not only pushing into the heel of the hand, you're pushing where the fingers and the ball of the hands join. That's very nice, Saraya. Good. Rotation of your upper arms. Breathe. It's okay, Priscilla. I found the other keys. Okay. That's it. Become longer and longer. Come on, more rotation of the arms. From the shoulders, go back, Catherine, go back, and breathe. Otherwise, you're going to struggle. And then bend your legs and come and sit. Vajrasana, you can grab a blanket for behind your knees, especially anybody that has knee issues. Big toes together, feet together, knees together. Keep your ankles in as much as possible. Interlock your fingers. Now, arms forward, shoulders back and down at the same time. Then as the arms begin to lift up, shoulders, blades down, arms up, shoulder blades down, arms up, shoulder blades down, front waist to back waist the whole time. Yes, that you keep that connection, top buttocks down. So you have like almost a weighted belt. And then everything else you lift up, like there's a ring all the way around the top of the pelvis that you lift that belt. Yes, the back, Sam, as well as the front. Yes, much better, Jeanette. Well done. That worked from last week. Can you feel that back as if the wall is behind you? Lift, lift, lift. Breathe. Lock your elbows. Stretch into your hands, Lisa. Stretch. You like this. Come on, shoulders facing. Then come forward a bit. Yes, so that your arm is straight. I don't want you to go back and then to, okay. All right, exhale, take your arms. So I'm not asking you to be aggressive. I'm not asking you to strain. And if your shoulder's hurting, you should be using a belt also for more space. Okay, so Catherine, also grab your belt around your wrists. You'll see what Lisa is doing now. And then that space means that you stretch and you go to your capacity. If you start bending and losing the rotation, are you still doing the work? No, so that you're not supposed to go further if you distort. With a certain structure, only then going further. So second interlock, or your belt. Inhale, pull. Now go with feeling. Not that, oh, I take my arms, then I look whatever else is happening. Rotation from the shoulder, come a bit forward, Lisa. Then get the turning of the arms. Connect front waist, yes. Now stretch. Your arms are helping to stretch, except your buttocks aren't supposed to fly. Sam, voila. Enlacing ses fessiers. Root your buttocks. Pull the front waist to back waist. Turn your upper arms. Use the extension of your arms to stretch your waist. You're starting to drop backwards, Saraya. Lift the back body. That's better. Don't look so worried, Catherine. It's better. Can't you feel it's better with the belt? That's it. And then exhale, come down. Shoulders back and down. Breathe. Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog pose, head down. Now breathe. Breathe in this Adho Mukha. You don't breathe, you're going to first overheat, then you're going to pass out. Okay. Now get that same rotation in the arms, same lengthening of the shoulder blades, same lengthening of the side ribs, of the waist. Lift those legs up and back. Come on, Debbie. Up, up, up. Didn't I do something with the belt on you on Friday? Pull up and back. Yes. So remember that. Lift the shin bones, Yumi. Yes. Lift the kneecaps. Go away from your hands, Jeanette. Away, away. Yes. Keep going backwards. Slightly better, Catherine. Keep going backwards. Sam, back, lazy pole. Keep the shoulders when you go back. And then slowly come and sit. Gomukhasana 2. So you're going to take your left leg behind your right. Stretch the left foot back as much as possible and sit with the left heel between both buttocks. Right knee on top. So I'm going to do mirror image for those that are on screen. Those of you in the room, you will not be mirror image to each other. That's it. Okay, good. Now roll that right calf muscle out the way and pull the right foot. So you're going to roll the top of the calf muscle and the bottom of the calf muscle so that your knee has space from the top and that your foot can come in from the bottom. Try and orientate yourself on your mat. Yes, so that your toes are pointing straight back and your knees straight forward, that you haven't twisted yourself. If you feel wobbly, take a blanket for between the heel and the buttocks. Now, feel, are your hips square? Also, if you're falling over, take a blanket. Hips square, trunk, rib cage square, shoulders square. Now, none of that changes. Front waist to back waist. Even put your left hand on your abdomen. Your abdomen is not allowed to hang into your hand. Your hand is keeping that front to back awareness. Now, right arm, stretch it up. Now, when you roll your right arm back, keep the rib cage of the right side forward. If you're too close to the wall, push it forward away from the wall. Okay. Then again, roll it back. Don't distort the lumbar. Don't distort the trunk or the rib cage. And again, third time. Take the arm back to the degree that it can go back from the shoulder. Then turn your hand up your back. You can just go, don't go too far, Jeanette. You can do half pose if you need to today, okay? You take a belt and you hold. Okay, hand up your back, the rest of you, all the way up your back. Now look what's happened to your shoulder. Lift and roll and take back and down so that there's a widening and there's no, that the point of the shoulder isn't coming forward. So a bit of the shoulder, but now what's happened to the trunk? Exactly. Find that alignment back, then stretch up the left arm. Now, a week or so ago, we did that you had to take hold of your arm with your hand and turn that arm in. So even though you don't have an actual hand, remember I told you you're all goddesses and you've got an extra set of arms, grab hold of that arm and turn it from inside the joint. Come on, Yumi, your hand is turning a lot, your shoulder is not. And now your trunk is turning. Keep the trunk straight and the head straight and don't turn the elbow back. When you bend, keep it wrapping inwards, in, Catherine, in, towards your head, not out towards them, in. You're still going more out. That way. Now watch your lower back. Head up. Both sides of the waist long. Widen the collarbone. Make balance in the body. Jeanette, you should have a belt. Absolutely. Keep breathing. And if it's too much, you shouldn't even take the top hand, but you should just hold or do one arm at a time. Okay, you're okay right now. Head up. You see, you're still constantly falling over. Yes. And then release your arms first, gently, slowly. And then change sides with your legs. That your right leg is behind your left. Calf muscle out the way. Make sure that the foot that you're sitting on hasn't turned onto the side, hasn't turned across, as much in Virasana position as possible. Both feet in Virasana. Those of you who don't know Virasana, that's when you sit like this. So the feet are going back. So now you are as much as possible in Virasana, even though you're in Gomukhasana. Now get that awareness of where am I? Where are my hips? Where's my waist? Where's the rib cage? Where's the chest? Where are the shoulders? None of that gets distorted. Right hand on your abdomen. Keep front waist to back waist. So you're not distorting from front to back. You're not distorting from side to side. You're not twisting. You see, Sam, you should be further away from, because you're going like that. We're not doing backstroke in the swimming pool, although some of you would love to be in the swimming pool today. Yes. Okay, that's it. Then after at least 3 times, take your hand up your back. Maybe you have some nice crunchy sounds going on. Yes, better on this side, Lisa. Then stretch up your right arm. Rotation in, yes. It's like you're taking your hand and you're turning it, your arm, and you're turning it back. Lift your head and then bend your arm. You're okay, Jeanette? Don't force. Use as much of the belt as you need. Now, which chest is higher than the other? Yogini. Yes. You did it, you went like that, and then you just went back to the way you were before. Lift your left chest. It's your left, right? You know what I mean. It's your left, right? Okay, front waist to back waist. You see how you want to turn to Lauren, Catherine? Turn towards, yes, towards the front. And relax your face. And keep the top buttocks down. And lift the dorsal Devi. You look like you're about to sink into an abyss. Okay, and breathe. Turn. Come on, Narissa. Turn in that top arm. Not back, in. Yes. And don't take it too far back that you pinching. Yes, give yourself a bit of space and then release. Shoulders back and down. Breathe, release, and Adho Mukha Svanasana. Dog first, head down. Come forward a little bit. Get that rotation of your arms. Spread each and every finger. Press across the entire surface of the palm of the hand. Measure the length of your inner arms, outer arms, parallel to each other, equally extended. Forearms, upper arms equally extended. Left leg, right leg equally extended. Lower legs, upper legs equally extended. Don't hand sand in the shoulders. Yes, something has to resist so that something else can go. And then Chaturanga Dandasasana, all flat on the floor. Anybody menstruating, let me know now. No one? Oh, Yumi, what kind of a Chaturanga is that? Number one, your heels nearly touched as you went down into, did you realize that?
Yeah.
You don't know how to do it, okay. All right, let us see how many we have in the room. 2, 4, 6, 8, not so many. Everybody get your bolster. Let me pass what I have. Okay, then I'll take one, thanks, Sam. Whichever one you want. All right, have a block or a foam, or maybe 2 foams and your bolster. And come and lie in Chaturanga on your bolster. I'll just use a block here. Okay. So you're going to lie that your chest is on the bolster and your top thighs are on the bolster, the bottom of your chest, the top of your thighs, head is on the block, toes are turned under, hands far back in line with the floating ribs. Now, can you feel how the thighs want to hang down? It's like we want to bend the legs. So you're going to lift the thighs. When you lift the thighs, what happens to the buttocks? They want to lift. So keeping the thighs lifting, take the buttocks towards the heels and into the body and down. But what happens, okay, just sit up for a moment. So we have to understand that there needs to be a certain amount of subtlety in our movements. When I say take the buttocks down, you take them down without losing the thighs and without curling. Like we want to keep the front and back of the body parallel to the floor. So you've got your pubic bone, you've got your sacrum. Now, for some people, they go to one extreme or the other. The buttocks are flying. And then I say take the buttocks away, and then they end up doing that. You know, like, oh, so you've lost that parallel. So that's why some of the international teachers will almost shout at you, you know, all of this tucking the tailbone, like stop tucking the tailbone. It's not to say that it's not the right action, it is the right action, but it has to be balanced against. It has to be balanced against the thighs going back, buttocks coming forward, abdomen going back, and I mean to the ceiling when you lie down. Now this is the biggest part for many of you. I'm sure you could feel, go lie down again, feel what part besides the buttocks wants to lift the most. Can you feel that it's the dorsal spine, the thoracic spine? So how do we keep the thoracic spine in, the abdomen up, buttocks in, thighs up? It will go the other way around. Okay, off you go. So be a little bit more back, Catherine. Yes, you will bring your bolster a little forward if you don't have space behind you. That's it. Okay, so let's start from the feet. Let's start from the feet. Press into the heels. Puff out the inner heels. Puff them out. Like they're a balloon and you want to fill the balloon of the inner heel. Jeanette, that's not full. Turn your toes under. Toes turned under. The length of your foot is perpendicular to the floor. The only thing that's not perpendicular are your toes, which are tucked under. Jeanette, turn under more. Walk your toes under and heels back. Toes under and heels back. Now lift the top thighs, the front thighs. That's good, Lauren. Lift the front thighs. Lift the front thighs. And now, as the front thighs lift, pull the buttocks back to your heels. There we go. Now you can be stronger into your feet. So you haven't turned under enough. And then take the buttocks down to the floor without losing that parallel sacrum and pubic bone. Yes, good, Soraya. Good. Okay. Now, make sure your hands are far back enough. Lauren further back, Yumi further back, Catherine a lot further back, Sam further back. Roll your shoulders back. As you roll the shoulders back, keep the lumbar full. That means you lift the front waist to back waist, but not the buttocks, Debbie. So you not one thing can be so much that it throws the other thing off. But all things have to be present. Lift, you're not lifting the front waist to back waist, Saray. It was going so well just now. You're now lifting the dorsal again. So take the dorsal down. Yes, come on, you're on a bolster. You got a block for your head. You're lying on the floor. This can't be that difficult. Yes, Jeanette, with the upper back, good. There we go. And release. You know, isn't it a kid's game called Jenga or something? You know, where you've got the bits of wood and you have to put them in that everything balances, otherwise the whole thing falls apart. So, or even better, you know, when you kids and you play like, you know, you clap each other's hands and you go from, you know, so one goes that way and then they come that way and you go like that the whole way up. I hope you can see properly. So you go boom, 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 boom. It's so simple. We think it's so complicated, but thank goodness the pattern. You also, when you're at school and you get those math sequences, can you complete the sequence? Once you've seen part of the sequence, no. A, B, A, B, A, B, what's next? Alana said C, if you couldn't hear her. Okay, so even from, so the it's just, oh, sorry. Okay, so thighs up. What's the next band? Buttocks down. What's the next band? Abdomen up. What's the next band? Dorsal down. Okay, so it's really, we want to be like, I'll do it standing. Our body goes thighs forward, buttocks back, lumbar forward, back hunched, you know. So now I'm saying thighs back, buttocks in. And if I just took my buttocks in without my thighs back in this, so let's look at ABA, for example. So A, B, A. Okay, so I need to take B, my buttocks, forward. Now, if I take them forward on their own, without thinking of what's on either side of it, then, so this is why I'm saying 3 parts. I'm not saying 1, 1. I'm saying 3. I've taken my buttocks forward. Now I look at my thighs. Now I look at my lumbar. So I have to say, okay, I know that that's going to happen. So it becomes a coordinated movement. If I had an extra hand, so buttocks are going forward and front waist to back waist. Buttocks are going forward and thighs are going back. So I'm not just taking the buttocks forward. So easy to do. And I'm not just taking the abdomen back or the thighs back. I'm saying, how do I take something something is sticking out on one side, something else is sticking out on the other side. I get hold of them and I move them in. And luckily, our mind is not restricted by our hands. It means it can be more than 2 places at once if we train it to be. So we're not moving our body with our hands, we're moving it with our mind. I'm saying, let's just work those 3 parts for now. I'm saying, take the buttocks in, thighs back, lumbar back. So you've got the center coming in one direction and on either side going in the other direction. Okay, let's go. Now rely on your bolsters. I don't know, you did very good Chaturanga. I don't know what you're complaining about. Okay. You're just trying to expand in the words for fun. So now, lift the thighs and the lumbar, front waist to back waist, not the lumbar, the front waist to back waist. And as you lift the thighs and the front waist away from the floor, take the buttocks towards the floor. Yes, much better, Catherine. You feel the difference. 3 things at the same time. The middle is coming down. Those buttock bones are coming to the floor, you'll need. And then your front thighs and your front waist are lifting to the ceiling. Yes, Debbie, but no one more than the other, whether it's forward or back, so that everything aligns, everything stacks on the horizontal plane. And then release. Okay. Is it making a tiny bit more sense? Yes? Yeah. Everybody. It's hard work with support. It's always stacked without the support. I'm laughing at Lisa because she says it's hard work with the support. I know Saray maybe agrees with you, but oh my God, do you want us to try it? That's what I mean. Without the support's going to be this. Okay. You mean I thought you might thought it might be easier without the support? No, I was having a good laugh. It is difficult with the support then. Yes, it's extremely. However, it's not so difficult without the support once you have that. It's finding that balance, because Dandasana literally means staff, like a stick. It's a straight, there are no joints, there are no zigzags. So what we have, our body is full of zigzags. So what we have to do is align these zigzags stack. And we don't only stack in the vertical plane, now we're stacking in the horizontal plane. And once that stacking comes, then doing it without the support becomes much easier, because this is what people do when they go into Chaturanga Dandasana from the floor, and it makes it very difficult. Head up, oh, like it's like you're like a caterpillar instead of a staff, or it's the other way around. Bum up, oh, I can't get my knees off the floor. When I stack, stretch into the heels, lift the thighs and lumbar, buttocks down. Dorsal in, which is the part we never get into, shoulders back, so everything is ready. I breathe. And as I exhale, everything comes up. Easy peasy. But until you've learned that stacking, coming up is not easy peasy. I'll tell you this again and again. Go and look at Nighttime Yoga. Ooh. There is a scale, every pose is rated on difficulty. 1, the easiest, 57, 58, and then I always forget, I must go check. The most difficult. Don't spoil the fun, those of you who know. Those of you who don't know, can you guess where on the scale Chaturanga is? 57, says Debbie. 4. It means it's an easy pose. We just don't realize it because we make it difficult. Okay. Now, yes, you're good with your dorsal, Saraya, but your bum was flying. But your dorsal was better and you felt better. Yes, you went up. Good. Okay. So let's all just try, unless anybody's menstruating, Lauren, if you want to, you can stay on your bolster. But you can try from the floor. Be adventurous. Let's go. Doesn't matter if you don't get up, but you don't cheat. Lie flat on the floor now. Bolster out the way. Hey, Narissa. You may be in Australia, but that doesn't mean I can't see what you're doing from here. She was leaving her bricks underneath her thighs. Now we are going to take your bricks away from everywhere. No bricks, no bolster, no nothing. Now we're going to construct the pose without lifting off the floor. We're not even going to lift at all. We're just going to do the construction, then we're going to rest. Then the second time we're going to get the construction faster and go up. So tuck your feet under properly so that you can push into your heels. And push the ball of the feet down onto the floor. And keep the feet parallel to each other. Now lift the thighs and the front waist as you bring the buttocks down. Lift the front waist as you bring the dorsal in. Roll the shoulder blades. Keep the dorsal in. Very good, Saraya. And let go for a moment. Okay, yes, it's coming. Okay. Now, quickly, do all of that and go up. But don't go so quickly that you can leave something out. Only go up when you're ready. So do you all remember, start with your heels, your thighs, and your abdomen. Your buttocks down, abdomen away from the floor. Dorsal down, abdomen away from the floor. Shoulders back, inhale, exhale, push away from the floor and lift up in one movement. Are you okay, Alana? Lift, come on, I'm waiting. Narissa. Okay. Lift, lift. Take your abdomen away from the floor. Take your abdomen away. Okay, I'm going to try and show you something else. Alana, come here. Okay. I'm opening this up like this. Come alive that your abdomen and your thighs are over the blanket. Okay. Now, say I wanted to pick, just take your hands the other side. Say I wanted to pick Alana up. And I wanted her to, I wouldn't pick her up from here, just from the hips, because she don't help me, Alana. If I just lifted here, her bum would lift up, or I could hardly lift her at all. I'm lifting now from the middle. But say I was to say, I'm going to take her abdomen, and I'm going to take her thighs. Now I'm going to lift up from here. I can lift her because where are my points of lift? Here and here. So I've lifted up from those parts that I asked you to take away from the floor. I haven't lifted up from the dorsal and I haven't lifted up from the buttocks. I left those down. I'm specifically, here are her thighs. Here is her abdomen. I'm holding in line with that. And quite easily, I can lift her, okay? You can come down. But I actually could barely lift her when I was trying to lift her buttocks. Did you see that nothing moved? Okay, so you are lifting yourself from here and from here, and you're pushing into your hands and your feet a bit, okay? So of course you're pushing into your hands and your feet. But when you push into your hands and your feet, what is moving away from the floor? The abdomen and the thighs, not the buttocks or the dorsal. Thank you, Alana. Let me unwrap you on this hot day. Listen, you are hardly heavy, Alana. We all have these distorted. Yumi is minuscule, yes, but you are tiny too. Okay, off you go. Let me see your Chaturanga Dandasasana. Okay. Don't rush. Make sure the heels are puffed out. Catherine, keep your knees apart. Your feet and your legs are supposed to be parallel to each other. Now, yes, Sam, lift the abdomen away from the floor. Bring the buttocks down, the dorsal down. Now lift your thighs and your abdomen. Inhale, exhale, push with your hands and your feet. Not bad, Debbie. Keep the abdomen away from the floor. Keep the abdomen, keep the back waist full. Keep the back waist full, full. Okay, but not bad. Better. You see how you kept on wanting to hang the abdomen, but it was better. Sorry, Narissa, you'll have to do it one more time. I wasn't looking. A reasonable amount, but not an excessive amount. This is the thing. This is not a pose that is based on strength. It's a pose that is based on understanding of mechanics and balance. That's it. Once you have that, you can get it. You wouldn't give it a 4.
I think today with the bolster was like a breakthrough for me because I've never understood that.
Okay, so did it give you some more clarity with the bolster? Good. Narissa, how's it feeling? Did you get some more clarity today? Maybe at least intellectually? Okay, good. All right, Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog pose, head down. Yes, Yumi. There we go. Well done. Oopsie, we've just lost Saraya. And she's back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog pose, head down. Pull up and back, up and back, up and back, up and back, Sam, lazy pull. Okay, you're back. We're doing Adho Mukha, Saraya. Now, come and lie flat on your abdomen. If you can do Chaturanga from dog pose, by all means do it. Otherwise, just come lie flat. Don't do it from dog pose, Jeanette. Bend your legs, knees onto the floor, not for your shoulder at the moment. And now, Eka Pada Bhekasana. Now, wait. Everybody sits up for a moment. I'm going to change my, no, I don't need to change my direction. I'm sure you'll be able to see. Maybe only Lisa, you might have to move a little bit that side of the room. Now, do you remember Garudasana? Not Garudasana, Gomukhasana, when we did the arms? And I said, you're not going to turn the trunk, you're going to turn the arm from the arm. And even when you take the shoulder back, the ribs are going one direction, the shoulder is going another direction. Okay, remember? So now, straighten the mat. In Eka Pada Bhekasana, arm back, not trunk back. Arm back, and then shoulder back, and now side ribs forward. So I'm not in the pose like that. Okay? Don't look so worried. Off you go. Yes, arm back. It's actually easier because when you twist, you lift the hip away from the floor and you shorten instead of lengthen the thigh. So yes, arm back. Good. Oh, very good, Lauren. Are you okay? Okay. No, because it's the other shoulder. Okay, let's see how it goes. Now roll. You can put your hand in the position that is best for you. Back, out to the side or forward. I don't mind. But what I do want to see is your shoulder. Which shoulder is struggling, Jeanette?
Both.
Both. Come, then do it against the wall.
But I'm managing on it.
Not so much.
No.
Okay, because you're all forward and you don't have any of that front. Just do it against the wall. Okay. And don't get FOMO. And Yumi, I know we're talking about the shoulder, but you have to care for your knee in this pose. Look how your outer knee is nearly hanging on the floor. How your inner knee is flying to the ceiling. Yes, and then you correct it. That's better. You feel the difference. That's it. Anybody with knee pain, you tell me immediately, up the wall, leg up the wall. You've done it before. Take your blanket or something, and nobody says you can't do it all, just do differently. Okay, and do you have a cramp?
It's okay.
Okay, all right. So we'll repeat it on the other side. Other side. Stretch your legs back one at a time. Roll your thighs from inside out. Stretch your toes back. Now come up onto your right elbow. Bend your left leg in. Take your left arm back, not your left chest back. Yes, Lisa. Good. Better, isn't it? That's it. Now bring the left rib cage forward. Maybe have your hand on top of your foot. Can still be, it can be like this. Okay? That's it. And now have your hand on top of your foot, Lauren. Like that. Don't twist your foot like that. Try and point your fingers to the direction of your ankle. There we go. You okay? Yeah. That's it. Excellent. Well done. Now pull the shoulder back and take the rib cage forward. Think of Gomukhasana in your arm. Your hand, now you've gone too far back, so you're holding your ankle, and you should be on your foot, and bend your elbow. Beautiful. Oui, comme ça. Et tu remets l'épaule vers l'arrière. Exactement. Et les côtes vers le devant. Et l'épaule vers l'arrière. Et les côtes vers le devant. Okay, and release. So what I'm saying to Sam is shoulder back, rib cage forward, shoulder back, because it's the same thing. Almost that those opposites. What we were doing in Chaturanga, we were saying one thing goes one way, one thing goes the other way. Not everything one way or everything the other, or one thing throws one thing out. And it's like, I know my shoulder has to go back, but is my shoulder actually going back? Is my rib cage is going back? Not so much. So it's this opening of this armpit space. Okay, so have we done right and left? Yes. So now we can do one more time. Okay. All right. But really, I do feel that when there's an injury, it's better to be cautious and live to work another day. Hand straight back for those whose shoulders are tight. Bend your elbow and roll the shoulder back and roll the trunk forward. Then your hand right on your foot, right? Fingers going down towards. Okay, release for a moment. So those who are doing the full pose, fine, no problem. But for those who cannot hold, I don't want you to do funny things with the hand like that. Let me go a little bit further away. So if you take your hand and it's going down your foot, my fingers are pointing towards my ankle and my toes are pointing towards my shoulder. Some of you are holding in a funny way that's distorting the foot. And actually, as I turned my foot in, I literally felt a little pinch in my sacrum. So is that where you feel it?
I'm also getting it.
But trying to put the fingers in the right direction.
Yes.
I get a cramp in the foot.
In the foot, okay. Let's all, we've done half now, right? We've done one and a half. So let's do the left, and then we'll all go towards the wall and try and see if we can get the position of the foot a little bit better. Okay. Stretch your thigh back. Stretch your toes forward. That's it. Now don't distort the knee. That's it. That's fun. So you have to learn to think of Chaturanga Dandasana. Where were you taking the buttocks? Away and down. And actually pubic bone to navel is lengthening, so you're not hanging in your lumbar. So although there's more of a back bend, if the buttocks come down and you lengthen the trunk, then you shouldn't feel that pain in your back anymore. So don't lift the pubic bone, buttocks down, pubic bone down, abdomen forward, and not hanging to the floor, and then release. Better or not better?
No, this foot doesn't cramp, this foot cramps.
Okay, but this shoulder struggles, that shoulder doesn't.
This whole right side is struggling.
It's struggling, okay. All right.
Shoulder.
Did it feel a little bit better that last time? I know Saray has run away.
Yes.
But anybody, okay.
Yeah.
Slightly better for you, okay, slightly better. All right, Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog pose, head up. Rotation of your upper arms from inside out. Push away from your hands, get that length. Lock your knees, lift your thighs up and back. Come on, Debbie. And you're leaning onto your left side, equal weight on both hands. And now come either to just lie flat on the floor or through Chaturanga for a moment, depending on your enthusiasm and your body. Not only enthusiasm, sometimes too much enthusiasm and not enough other stuff in place is a dangerous combination. You got to keep your shoulders rolling back as you go forward. Yes. Okay, but without shortening the back, which is the tricky part. Okay. Now we're going to take our blocks for Salabhasana with our hands on the blocks in front of us. Those of you who want to do with the chair straight away, you can do with the chair. So I guess you know what to do with the chair. I'm going to show with the blocks for those who don't know. So your blocks have 3 heights. What I want now is length. So you're going to think of, you're going to stretch your legs back. Now big toes are together. Now you're going to think of Chaturanga. You're going to lift the thighs, even though you're not going away from the floor, and take the buttocks back and down. Now if I go so far with the buttocks that my lumbar is like, my pelvis is lifting away from the floor, then I've gone too far. So pubic bone and tailbone parallel. Now, you want to get that, you're going to put your hands on the floor for a moment and pull the lower abdomen forward. So that you've got this frontward direction of the front body, from the pubic bone forward, and from the buttocks, you've got back and down. So we balance front and back. Then you'll stretch your arms, and remember from the beginning of the class, I said separate arms into your hands, shoulder blades back. Okay, got it. And that's all you're gonna start with your hands up, get the length, get the shoulder blades deep in, and then extend your hands down, and you're gonna do that a few times, all right? Are you okay, Jenny? Do I need to let you out? Okay, all right. So lie on your abdomen. Have your chair, turn your chair, are you using the chair, right? Turn it the other way around. The seat of the chairs. Oh, you're using that bar, that's quite clever. But it might be a bit sharp. Actually, that's a really good thing because it's somewhere between the blocks and the thing. You may want to put a blanket or a little bit of mat off cut. Okay, then turn the hand up so that the heel of the hand is on the edge of the block. Hands are now perpendicular to the floor. And with the hands up, don't hang the elbows down, resist the elbows, and instead of the elbows going down to the floor, no, edge of the hand on the block. Narissa, you're not on the block enough. Turn the hands up to the ceiling, fingertips pointing to the ceiling, with the edge of the heel of the hand on the edge of the block. Now, see how the elbows want to hang for some of you? Don't hang the elbows, suck the elbows in, and instead of the elbows hanging, bring the shoulder blades in. Bring the shoulder blades in, and now keep the extension of your arms, keep pulling the shoulder blades towards the back waist, and then extend the fingers forward and bring them flat down onto your brick. And then release. Who said sure?
It's amazing how such a thing can be.
It is, and you know what I find amazing? I can do it on a chair, like Alana's doing it, with bricks under the chair. So I can do it at a very high height. Sorry, I just need to close the gate after Jeanette had to leave early. However, if I do it with the blocks, I still feel that it's intense. Like just because you do it lower doesn't mean you're not going to go deep. So what I want us, I'm going to go back a little bit to Debbie. Let me go all the way here. Now, Debbie, drop your head, Debbie. Now, this top part of the shoulder blade, you see she wants to pull her arms back. As soon as I pull here, her arms aren't going forward. So pull your arms forward, Debbie, and pull the shoulder blades back, and pull the arms forward, and pull the shoulder blades back. Yes, so that you begin to flatten out this upper back. Iron, a rolling pin, an iron, whatever helps you to feel that that upper back is lengthening with the arm one way, inner arm also, and shoulder blade, trapezius muscles the other way. Much better shape of your upper back. Can you feel the difference, Debbie? So off you go, second time.
And again, right shoulder pain.
You're feeling shoulder pain in this. Go lower, because you've got a lower height of the brick. You don't want to go too wide in this one, okay? And if it hurts you, lift your hands up. You just start, you keep your hands down. No shoulder pain, okay? No shoulder pain. I think you may be even going too wide. Suck the outer shoulders in. You've got to hold in here, not be loose here. Hands on the block. Still pain?
It's tight.
Tight or pain?
It's tight now.
Tight is okay, but is it painful?
No.
Okay, then that's fine. All right, lift the hands up. When you lift the hands up, how do you get those shoulder blades to come deeply down your back, and then extend the fingers away and rolling pin on the top shoulder blades and on the trapezius muscle. The more you stretch your fingers away in one direction, The more you draw the shoulder blades down your back, thank you, and both sides equally, both sides equally. Don't hang in the elbows, don't lose the rotation of your arms either. Keep the rotation of your arms. Resist with the back of the elbows and go in with the shoulder blades to the floor, not the elbows to the floor. And release. Okay, good. Well done. Okay, because what happens is that the elbows move quite easily, don't they? Yes, Saray, it's wonderful, like a little breakthrough today. And then, so that we want to go down, so we do that. But if we resist here, then that part can work. So we've got to use this whole arm as the lever for the shoulder blade. Now, if you think of a door handle, imagine a door handle was not solid. It wobbled and it folded and it bent when you try to press it down. If one part would go down, the other, it wouldn't, but it wouldn't work to the part that if it was like soft and wobbly, if it was watery, it wouldn't work to open the door. So this arm, this entire arm is the lever for the shoulder blade. And if we bend it, it doesn't, here's the part that moves instead of here's the part that moves. So if you go with that idea that a lever has to be solid, it has to be firm, otherwise it won't work as a lever. Let me take my, I'm sure you're all getting this, but since my pole is in the corner, say I wanted to, I don't know, lift up the chair or something. Now say that this just gave way here. Would I lift the chair? No, it wouldn't. So you, depending on what you want to do, your lever has to be solid. Our staff-like feeling. So what do we have to do in Chaturanga? We have to lift something up and bring something down. So that's the arm and the shoulder blade in Salabhasana. So now with all that storytelling, one more Salabhasana, how important the extension of the arm is and the firmness. It's almost like a cylinder instead of something with a hinge. You know, we've got to use our hinge when we need it and lock our hinge when we don't. Because if that hinge isn't locked at a time when the arm is straight, everything gets unhinged. Inner elbows stay facing each other, yes.
Oh, those wrists are deceptive.
Yes, wrists are very deceptive. Elbows are also deceptive. Wrists and elbows want to do all the work of the shoulders. Okay, off you go. Last time, and it really isn't as relevant what height you have as can you feel that cylinder-like firmness of the arm. Very nice, Saraya. And the stronger the arm becomes, head down for now, Narissa. Head down. Yes, resist with the back of the elbow to lock the elbow. Now against the extension of the arm, forward to the fingers. Pull the shoulder blades back and in. Your shoulder blades are lifting up. Yes, better, Catherine. Did you feel how you changed their direction? Well done. In with the shoulder blades. Refine your shoulder blades. I don't want these big, bulky, puffed up shoulder blades. I want these long, thin, fine, ironed out, rolled out shoulder blades. And then release. Okay, there we go. That's back bends for today. We'll start the week slowly. I know, I'm sorry. I couldn't quite tell you once the class started that we actually were doing back bends. Because I thought, Lauren thought I gave her an option. I was like, it's so hot today. I'm considering doing forward bends instead. You know, what would you prefer, Lauren? Forward bends, back bends. So she chose forward bends. I didn't want to tell her that wasn't going to happen. However, for the day, I think we did a deep work without necessarily overheating too much, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Yoga Mudrasana and Virasana again. I'm so glad you were in this class today, Saraya. You started Mondays just in time. Okay. Pull those shoulder blades back still, but a lot more gently than you were just now. Careful, Alana, your whole, yes, left side was dropping, right side is flying. And then slowly come up and come in like flat on your back. Eka Pada Bhekasana, right knee bend towards you, left leg straight. Don't totally overdo. I saw you before class started. Going like this, shorten that out. That's how that's to keep it length and keep the buttock in line and bring the thigh to. No, I don't want you doing that.
You know, I read that's the way to release the hip flexor. But what you're saying is that it's possibly not.
It's actually pinching and you're losing the alignment of your buttocks. Okay. I'm saying hug your knee in towards you, but don't go, because what you're doing is you're going too far and you're distorting. A pregnant woman would take her knee to the side. Okay. All right. Roll your left thigh in, extend your left heel away from you, but make the body quiet and gentle and bring a bit of softness. Heel away, not toes away, Catherine. Heels, heel. Where's your heel? Slide, yes, along the floor. Relax your hips, relax the buttocks, relax the abdomen, relax your eyes, your brain. Now you're looking for that coolness. Can your eyes feel cool? Your brain feel cool? Temples cool. And then release and change sides. Relax the other foot, Catherine. You did the wrong foot first, so I'm going to say left and right. Leg on the floor. Extend that leg away from you, but don't be hard. Now that deep, soft front groin, Narissa, of the left leg. You have to soften the groin, and the deeper the groin goes, then the top thigh starts to come towards you. Yes, that's it. So there is obviously some resistance with the outer hip. But the deepening of the groin means that even though you resist back with the buttock, the leg still comes more towards you from the top thigh, not from the knee. And don't have your hand directly on the knee, on the head of the shin bone. And then release. And then take both knees towards you. Dize Pada Bhekasana. Tailbone buttocks away. Drop your shoulders. Don't let your feet cross. Relax your feet. Get that coolness in your eyes and your brain again. Use your breath, your exhalations to cool you down. And release. Take your belt. Supta Pada Bhekasana 1. Right leg 90 degrees. You need a belt. There we go. Right leg 90 degrees. Stretch your left leg along the floor. Roll the left thigh in, but keep the left outer down. Feel that easy balance, like in Gomukhasana. Are your hips square, your waist square, the rib cage, the shoulders. So you haven't, because one leg is in one position and the other leg is in another position, you haven't let the whole body get thrown off. You've come back to that centering, that aligning. Don't go too far with your leg. This is not Supta Pada Bhekasana for forward bends. This is Supta Pada Bhekasana coming back from, albeit very gentle back. Still that, because some of you, for example, in Eka Pada Bhekasana, we're feeling your lower back. So this is to release, to make length, to soften, and because it's such a hot day, to cool, to quieten. And release, and other side. So are you creating heat in the way that you're doing this pose? Or are you cooling yourself in the way that you're doing this pose? What is the feeling in the temples, in the eyes, in the brain? Left leg, Surya, my darling. It's not quite Shavasana. It won't be soon enough. Okay. Watch that your hands face each other. So I just took my belt quickly because I've given one to Catherine, but preferably your hands are through the loops of the belt. Yes, like that. You can thread them through so that your arms are straight again. And next time you shift the buckle, that it won't be on your skin, and the buckle will be somewhere there. Okay, and release and let go for a moment. Inhale and exhale, let go. Now, especially on a hot day when you let go, take the legs even wider, wider than you normally would. Just disperse a little bit of the heat that's built up in your body. Wider legs, wider arms, let go completely for a moment. Only a moment, don't get carried away. And then belt again. And both legs, Eka Pada Bhekasana, tailbone buttocks away. Don't go past 90. If the legs are too tight to be at 90, you can be less so that the legs can be straight and that you're not straining, but at least you know you are going to 90. Don't go past. What I said for Eka Pada Bhekasana, one applies to Eka Pada Bhekasana, one was one where we had one leg at a time up. Applies here. Above, we're not doing this as an abdominal pose, and we're not doing this to prepare for forward bends. We are coming back from back bend. So feel the connection with the back of the body and the earth. Feel the lengthening and widening of the fibers of the back. Feel the cooling of the temples, eyes, and brain. Deflating of the abdomen. Each breath bringing more and more sense of coolness. And then release and relax once more with your arms and your legs wide, wider than normal. I think we have enough chairs. So let's take your chairs. First for bharadvajasana with the chair, and then for half halasana, but we're not going to do supported half halasana today, just the feet on the chair. But pass chairs out quickly. And those of you at home, you've got your own chairs and you won't be as slow as us. You can do twice. So sit and do bharadvajasana on the chair while we're all getting our chairs. You. One more for you. Okay, I'll grab one. Okay. All right, Narissa and Surya, we finished with a very quick bharadvajasana each side. Now, those of you in the room, turn that your back of your chair is facing towards the back of the room, so that we would be doing a kind of a mirror image. Back of the chair facing the back of the room. My back of the chair is facing the front because I'm going to face you. So your chair, okay, I'm on this side, turn away from me. Okay, now Remember Chaturanga Dandasana? It's so wonderful because it applies to bharadvajasana. What do we want to do in bharadvajasana? We want to let the buttocks fly and we want to let the lumbar hang forward, correct? So how do we take the top buttocks down? How do we pull the front waist to back waist? Bring the dorsal spine in. So I want your buttocks and trunk in Chaturanga Dandasana, your arm in, okay, now we can turn the trunk also, but turn from your waist, chest, and then you're going to still get that widening, but now you're not allowed to hang back. Think of Chaturanga again. You see when you take that shoulder back, how it wants to pull the dorsal back? Roll the right shoulder back, be deeper into the chest so that your hip is touching, that's it. Take the right shoulder back and bring the dorsal in. Elbow wide, baby, elbow wide. Yes, and now pull your center line back to the center. So some of you are drifting too far one way or the other. Come to the center. Inhale, lift. What happens when you lift? Buttocks go down, front waist to back waist, shoulder blades down, dorsal spine in. Breathe. Lauren, your ears nearly touching your shoulder, or the other way around, shoulders nearly touching your ear. Inhale, lift. What are you lifting? You're lifting the trunk, not the shoulders. Elbows wider, Catherine. It could please a kaptesa. Inhale, lift, exhale, turn. When you turn, are you shrinking or are you keeping the length? If you're shrinking, don't go so fast. So you manage it little by little by little by little. What is essential? And then how do you go keeping what's essential? And release. And second side. So bottom buttocks, back. Top buttocks, down. Front waist to back waist. Dorsal in, shoulders back. Now all of that has to stay. That's stacking our Chaturanga awareness. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn without losing the direction of the buttocks, the direction of the waist, the inward movement of the dorsal, the awareness of where the center line is. If there be you hanging back, up and forward, elbows wide. You see how you're arching your back, Catherine? You've forgotten the bolster. Imagine your bolster was in front of you right now. Can you hang towards the bolster or must you take your waist away? Do you take your waist so far away that you shrink, or do you take it enough that you can lift parallel front and back of the body? Roll that left shoulder back and keep the spine centered. Come on, dorsal in, Dize. You're just leaning back. That's not dorsal in. Yes, bring the dorsal. Remember the bolster. It's like you have to change. You like this, and you literally have to change your axis. Better. Okay. More lift, but at least the axis is better. And release. Okay. I'd love to do bharadvajasana again, but I would also not like to deprive you of shavasana later. You may not like me very much. So now we're going to do half halasana, not with the thighs on the chair, but with the feet on the chair. So half halasana, we're not going to go up into Salabhasana, but make sure you have enough support for under the elbows, because it's not resting. A single bolster is not enough under the shoulders, because we're going to have the hands on the back for some of the time. Hands stretched back some of the time, hands on the back some of the time. Do you all know what half halasana is? Okay. I mean, you know it when you see it, but you don't know the name, unfortunately. Okay, so you know shoulder stand, the position with your feet over your head on the floor or on your chair. So this is with everybody, whether you can take the feet to the floor or not on the chair. I'm just going to show quickly. You are going to have a minimum of 4 blankets. I'm just going to fold my blankets quickly to show. This should be enough because it's a bit wide if you're not super tall. Lauren, you're going to do a repressive Padasana, legs up the wall. Obviously, nobody's menstruating today, but you know this is not a pose you do. So if you are doing the supported version, the chair would nearly be over your face. But because we're doing feet on the chair needs to be far enough away. Roll, 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 roll onto your shoulders. Those of you who needed belts around your hands earlier, when we were doing the shoulder work, you'll have a belt. And then we'll also lift the back. Now, when we lift the back, the buttocks want to hang. And how do we keep those top buttocks not sitting on the lumbar, Got away from the lumbar. Off you go. If you ever need blankets, can take. And here's another bolster. If anybody needs a bolster, you could use 2 bolsters also. For your shoulder, let's just wait a little. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so give me something more like that. Okay. No, it's doing well, but it's not going well. Especially if you're showing. Sam, it's going to be way too close. I'll move it away from you. Okay, roll onto your shoulders, Yumi, as you go. Don't wait to roll onto your shoulders. The minute your feet are coming over onto that chair, then you are rolling onto your shoulders as much as you can. Okay, I'll open. That's it, roll, and then your wrists are getting distorted. When you interlock your fingers, don't twist the wrists in different directions. Keep them a little gap between your hands. Yes, and the heels of between the heels of your hands. Lift your front thighs. Now, push your ball of your feet down onto the chair and lift your thighs up like Chaturanga. Because if, yes, that's better, Yumi. You see how the chair was slipping away earlier, but if you press properly, the chair won't slip away. Alana, you can move your feet, but you can't move your chair. Your feet have some space in both directions. Yes. Okay. Now, do you remember the length of the shoulder blade? The length of it. Try not to look at the chair, Sam. You know it's there. You can feel it's there. Look into yourself. Roll, roll, roll onto your shoulders. Saraya, hands behind your back today because we're not doing a fully supported half halasana. We're working to get the shoulder blades. What are the direction of the shoulder blades that we've been working the whole day? So when the arms were forward, it was clear, pull the shoulder blades away from the arms. But now the arms are back, but the shoulder blades still have to go up. This is a very wobbly support. It's not easy. So you have to, it doesn't help. You have to come down and you have to take your belt off before you come down and start again. Lengthen the shoulder blade, that's it, Alana. Both equally up your back. Sam, allez rouler ton, c'est la bordel, tes couvertures. Oui, j'arrive pas. Descend et recommence. Yes, that's better for you for now. And use your other blanket also to give yourself 4 blankets. Now come on, Saraya. After all that good work today, how did you feel your shoulder blades in Salabhasana? How did you feel your shoulder blades in Salabhasana? So this pose looks completely different to Salabhasana. Salabhasana is going to a back bend. Halasana is very much, the head is in Yalandhara Bandha. We look like we're going to a forward bend. But can you get the length of your shoulder blades? That's better, Saraya. You feel there's got to be some awareness, some intelligence following you between the poses. Sam, encore, tu sais couverture que tu as enlevé, mis ça dessus les fessiers, parce que tu n'as pas assez. Yes, Debbie, much better. Can you feel? Now you're stable. Okay. And especially, you can't destabilize yourself because already it's challenging to be steady. Okay, don't let the buttocks drop back. But you've taken the buttocks too far forward. You still have to lift the thighs. Where's that? Yes, like that. You feel the difference. Good. Okay. Narissa, you okay? And I saw you came down. You back up. You better now. Okay. Good. Now place your hands on your back, low towards the floor, low towards the floor. The belt, if you have it, can be around your elbows. And lift the back, lift the rib cage, lift the ribs in. But now when you lift the ribs, don't let the buttocks hang either backwards over the hands, nor too far forward. Okay, because some of you have different, and you have to watch the position of your feet. Lift the thighs, lift the thighs. Halasana, you can die if the legs aren't strong. Honestly, it's like one of the most difficult poses to get the legs going because there's this natural inclination to quieten, to soften, to go to sleep in halasana. And we want the legs especially want to go to sleep first. We have to keep the legs alive. Because this is not halasana with the thighs resting on the chair, feet on the chair. Chaturanga Dandasasana, powerful legs. Last moments. Get the length in the shoulder blades, even with your hands, low down the back, walk the hands lower and lower towards the floor. When I say low down, I mean towards the floor, that we're clear. You can't going too far over, Saraya, with your buttocks. Take them, yes, yes, that's better. Can you feel that axis now has come back? Okay, and then slowly roll down. Take your belt off first if you've got a belt. And then Yoga Mudrasana in Swastikasana, simple cross legs. You want to use your chair today. Head resting on your chair. Make sure, of course, that you're sitting on the buttock bones, shoulders relaxed, arms crossed in front of your head on the chair. And make sure that your skin of your forehead is not being pushed up, it's coming down. And yes, if some of you find the chair very hard, by all means, take a blanket. And you guys can do cross legs against the wall. Relax your shoulders down. Sorry, I think you can move your chair a bit further away from you. Now slowly come up and change the cross of your legs. You guys change yourself against the wall. Good. Let the back body rest into the body. Back brain rest to the front brain, and you feel conscious of your head too much on the edge of the chair. So you want the skin of your forehead quietly down, subtly down. Put your arms more in front of you. Yes, rest down first. And in your own time, you slowly come up and you lie in Shavasana. Now you'll be two groups. If your back feels in any way sensitive, you're going to keep your chair and you're going to place your legs on your chair for Shavasana, that the back of your knees are supported. But don't keep your legs narrow. Let your legs use the width of the seat of the chair, arms to the side. If you feel completely fine, because for some of you there wasn't quite a lot of back bending, then you're going to take your legs wide, your arms wide apart. So spreading wide, almost that your feet could be coming right to the edges of your mat, just off your mat, arms wider than you would normally take them. Of course, tailbone buttocks away. Then the air can aerate your body, cool your body. Let yourself spread over the earth. Sink into the earth. Exhale, let go your whole body. Exhale, let go completely. Once more, let go completely. Surrender yourself completely to the very center of yourself. Again, feel the coolness in your temples, the coolness in your eyes. Slowly, gently start to come back to your inhalations without rushing. When you're ready, you're going to bend your legs one at a time, tailbone buttocks away from you, and roll onto your side. Rest on your side for a moment. Eyes can open, close, open again. And then slowly turn to the floor. Inhale and sit up. Join your hands. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Pleasure. Lauren is waving enthusiastically in the background.